Today we're doing a rundown for the patch 10.2 of Teamfight Tactics, and I'm also going to give you a couple comments that you guys might enjoy on this new patch. So the first change on this patch is going to be the game length. The PvE rounds planning phase time went from 30 seconds to 20 seconds, so basically it's 10 seconds down. So this will make the game a little bit faster. To be honest, you don't need a lot of positioning or strong units to face against Crux or Wolf. So reducing this to 20 seconds is actually a good idea. The only thing that you do while fighting this minions, it's scouting your enemy. Alright, so item system. Small loot boxes remove the gold, 4 gold drop possibility, and medium loot boxes remove the 7 gold drop possibility. So what they're trying to do with this, or what they're trying to achieve with this, is reducing the amount of gold that you're gonna get through the game, because they're thinking that we're getting too much gold. So I guess it's a way of decreasing the amount of gold that you can get throughout your game. Then we have remove the worst case scenario for items dropped through the course of a game, especially in the first 3 PvE rounds. In short, we raise the RNG floor. Alright, so what they're trying to do is balance the amount of items that everyone gets throughout the game, especially at the beginning of the game. If you guys remember, if you get a lot of gold at the beginning of the game, you don't get a lot of items, or if you get a lot of items, then you don't get a lot of gold. So I guess it's just trying to balance out the equation of getting more items or getting more gold at the beginning of the game. Full items now drop significantly less, so that's a good thing. Full items only drop if you are already rolling items components. Alright, that's okay. You can no longer get 2 full items dropped in the same game. Okay, that's really good because it kind of ruins your entire comp. Let's put an example. You're running mages and then you end up getting like Infinity Edge or other things like that you don't really need for your mage comp. So this is pretty nice. Drastically reducing the chance of Force of Nature. Force of Nature was appearing on the carousel at least 75 to 90% of the chances. So I agree with this. Quality of life changes. PvE minions and monsters are now immune to Sapphire. Alright, so I guess this is they're still trying to reduce some of the time that we spend on the minions, so this is a good way to do that. Update the trait with a chromatic tier to celebrate. Okay, this is cool. This is a little this is a new color that they added to the trait when you hit 9, or when you actually make a composition with Lux, a composition that requires Lux, or a composition that requires a spatula. Alright, let's see. Rune Spirit Little, alright, system choice. Okay, this is a couple things on the little legends. Alright, so now let's jump on to items. So for items, we got the Bramble Best. The damage go increase, let me see, it looks like 20% extra. It went from 80 to 100, 120, yeah, probably like 20, and then on the last level it went 40 points extra. I guess this is good. Let's remember the Bramble Best is really good against Assassin, so maybe that's why they're trying to increase the damage they reflect. Bloodthirster lifesteal went from 40 to 50%. I guess it's okay, but as long as the meta requires Morello and red buff, this is not gonna change a lot. But I guess if we could try it, see if there's any changes on it. But for right now, I don't think it doesn't matter. We have Rage Blade. It went from 4% to 5%. I think there's no changes on this. The battles are ending in like less than 10 seconds, so I don't think that you have enough time to stack up your attack speed with this item. So I don't think that this changes a lot. Hextech Gunblade is the same as the Bloodthirster, even though they increase the percentage. As long as there's Morello and red buff, this item becomes useless. Iceborne Gauntlet. This is the item that I think it's it might be one of the items that we could start using on this patch, because it went from 1.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. So you're gonna have an enemy stunned for an extra for 2.5 seconds. So that's is huge. If you guys compare these to Glacial only is stunned for 1.5 seconds. So I guess we have to give it a try, see how it works. We have Locket. Locket is the same. All they did was increase the last one from 300 to 350. Let's remember that the last one means the whatever champion is using the Locket or this item. If it is a tier 2 or 2-star, he's gonna have 275, and if he's a tier 3 or not tier 3, a 3-star, he's gonna have 350. Loot and psycho damage went. They just buffed it for a little bit. I guess the last one is 250. So I guess they're trying to get this item for Skarner, I believe, because he's the only champion that actually will use this item. So if you get like a 3-star Skarner, he's gonna be hitting 250 with the Ludens. So yeah, I guess it's a way of reviving the Predators in some way. We see how that goes. Next thing is traits. Alright, so for traits we got Assassin. Critical strike damage bonus went from 50% to 65%. This is when you have 3 Assassin on your board, and it went from 150 to 225% when you have 6 Assassin. So it went up for 75% extra when you have 6 Assassin. This is good. This might bring up Assassin. I like the idea. Alright, so Blade Master. Blade Master can no longer store more extra attacks than the maximum your trait level provides. 1, 2, 3. And short, this means that it will be much less likely, if not impossible, for your champions to go infinite of their auto attacks. Specifically, this nerf 4 and 6 Blade Master. Blade Master chain to get extra attack went from 40% to 35%. So basically, this is one nerf for the Asir and Sivir composition. We got Desert. Desert armor reduction went from 50% to 40%, and then went from 90% to 100%. So when we get 2 Desert, it went down for 10%, but when we get 4 Desert, it went up to 100%. So this is cool. It makes you want to play Desert, at least with 4 Desert, because before we were just using 2 Desert. So it's a pretty good change. Inferno. The damage went up by 10% when you get 6. I don't think this is gonna matter. Mages. Mages get a 100% chance to double cast and 20% AP to all mages. This is really great because we have a lot of low tier mages, which is Vladimir, Talia, and Syndra. So hopefully we'll make a 6 mages comp a little better. Shadows. Shadows bonus damage duration went from 5 seconds to 6 seconds. That is really cool. It will give you that extra second to be able to refresh this ability. So we gotta see how it goes. And they also increase the damage when you have 6 shadows. I see a composition of 6 shadows with Lux and Glacial maybe, but we will have to try it out first. Wardens. Wardens, when armor bonus went from 450 when you have 6 Wardens to 999. I guess they're not scared of increasing their armor because everyone in the game, or most of the people in the game, hits with ability power or with magical spells. So having tons of armor doesn't really mean that you're invincible. Of course, if you have 6 Wardens, it's kind of hard to kill your enemy because they don't generate a lot of damage because they are supposed to be tanky. And the last one is going to be Woodlands, and the Woodlands now get a 6 Woodland is what they're trying to say over here. So if you run Ivern, Maokai, LeBlanc, Nico, and Lux, then you're gonna have a 6 Woodland trait. And what it does is that each woodland on the board will make a clone of them. So this is pretty nice. Instead of having all 6 on the board, you're going to be having 12. I don't think this is going to be a meta composition, but it's going to be a really fun comp to watch. And that is all for traits. Now let's jump onto champions. We got Leona, got a little nerfed. Malzahar minions went from 250 and now they actually scale from 250, 300, 250, 300, and 400 when he's a 3-star. That is pretty cool. Israel health went from 600 to 650 and their ability power went up too. This is cool because Israel is not that strong on this new set. Most of the people is running either Twitch or Ash for Rangers. We have Karma, got a little bit of nerf. She was too overpowerful. Her speed bonus is insane. Mana went from 50 to 75 at the beginning of the game, so he's gonna be allowed to cast his spell faster at the beginning of each round. Silver Bouncers went 10, 10, 10 to 579. This is another nerf for the Blade Master composition. And who else we got over here? We have Vigar spell damage went up. This doesn't really matter unless Vigar is a 3-star Vigar. So I don't see a lot of changes on this. We have Olaf's attack speed went down from 0.85 to 0.8. That is a little bit of a nerf, but meh, it's okay. You know, it's not that big of a deal. We got a 3-star champion adjustment. I guess these are also considered as buff. Let's see, we got Renekton when he gets, oh, okay, so everyone 3 stars. So Renekton 3 stars went up from 400 to 475. Vladimir went up to 500. And Ash got nerfed her attack speed, but she actually got buffed on her attack ratio, the attack damage ratio to 0.75. So I guess so. I mean, if you're able to find Ash 3-star on the game, good for you. I don't think that you actually need it. Now let's jump on the bug fixing. This says all the tooltips should now be up to date, which is really nice. Most of the people, they know that some of the items were changed, so this is really nice. Lecture tooltip now properly state that it does magic damage. All right, Karma is no longer 7. Okay. So I guess Karma was huge on your screen. All right. And Kindra's ability will now critically strike with dual gauntlet. All right. So this is pretty nice. This is a bug that's been going around with Kindred not being able to critical with the gauntlet. So this means that Kindred might go crazy on this new patch. And especially if the Shadow got buffed, so we should try to see how this is gonna work out for her. And the last thing that they fixed, it was Kindra's ability will now correctly critical strike with dual gauntlet, which was kind of annoying. This is one of the main items that Kindred should use. And by not being able to cast a critical with her spell, this is actually of a nerf. But now this is not a bug anymore. Then yeah, she might be a good champion for this new patch. All right, so now that we're over with the patch, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of the compositions that I think they are pretty good for this new patch. First one, it's going to be 4 Glacial, 2 Mystic, 2 Ranger, 3 Berserker, and 3 Shadows. Now the Kindred is able to use the dual gauntlet, then I think that she's gonna be strong again. Also, you gotta remember that Israel got a little bit of buff, and also Shadow, instead of being 5 seconds, is 6 seconds for their extra damage. So I think the Kindred is gonna be super strong. and this is why I added this to the composition. Basically how it works is that everyone's gonna your glacier are gonna be stunning and Kinder is just gonna be killing everyone. And then also you get the bonus magic resist for having Master G and Karma on the board. The next one is going to be 6 Assassin and 4 Desert. And you want to run this composition by building a Ghost Blade, and you want to add that to Silver, so that way you're able to replace any of your assassin. In this case, I remove Diana because she's the weakest. You kind of want to keep LeBlanc because she can create some stuns. So yeah, this is the assassin composition that you guys might see on this new patch. And the last composition is going to be Infernos and Shadows. So for this comp, you're gonna have 3 Infernos, actually 4 Infernos if you are able to find a Mumu. And you're gonna have some Mystic because you have Master G as one of the shadows. And then you can have Nami. And then your carry is going to be Kindred. So in case you can't find Nami, then I would recommend you stay with the Karma and use Karma as a buffer for your Kindred. If you guys have different composition for this new patch, please leave a comment down below. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell and like button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.